less than 5% of Syria is still under his control. After losing major strongholds in key urban areas across Syria, including its self-proclaimed capital, the city of Raqqa, the Islamic State group now controls only 5% of the country's territory, according to Russia's defense minister. That's a dramatic decline from the height of the rise of IS in 2014, when the extremist group seized about a third of both Syria and Iraq, before its downfall began. The remarks by Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu came as Russia-backed Syrian troops are pushing deeper into the eastern Syrian town of Mekon, one of the few still held by IS. Speaking at a conference in the Philippines, Shoigu said on Monday that terrorists, a term the Syrian government and its allies use for all armed opposition, including militant groups such as IS, an al-Qaeda Syria affiliate, controlled more than 70% of the country before Russia launched its air operation at the end of 2015 to support President Bashar Assad's offensive against his militants and opposition forces. In Syria in 2015, IS briefly held nearly half of the country's territory after the militants captured the historic city of Palmyra, parts of the northern Kurdish town of Kobani, the central desert, and reached the city of Hasaka in the northeast. Later that year, IS started suffering setbacks that culminated with the fall last week of the northern city of Raqqa, the extremists' de facto capital. IS has also lost wide areas it once controlled in Iraq, including the northern city of Mosul, the largest city the group had ever captured. US-backed Iraqi government forces retook Mosul in July. On Tuesday, Syria's state news agency SANA said government forces captured several points inside the town of Mekon just south of Mayadeen, the IS stronghold that Syrian troops captured earlier this month. Government forces are now advancing toward the town of Baukamal, the last that is still fully held by the extremists. Russia has played a main role in helping government forces capture wide areas from IS in northern and central Syria by giving them air cover. In September, Syrian troops and their allies reached the eastern city of Deir el-Zawar, where the extremists had long besieged the government-controlled part of the city. However, Raqqa fell last week to the US-backed Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, which have also been effective in eastern and northern regions of Syria. Now, with the IS caliphate rapidly crumbling, a race is on between the US-backed Kurdish forces and the Syrian government troops in the oil-rich Deir el-Zawar province. Syria State TV said warplanes of the US-led coalition have bombed a government-controlled neighborhood in the city of Deir el-Zawar, the provincial capital, killing 14 civilians. U.S. military spokesman Colonel Ryan Dillon denied the report, tweeting that the coalition has not bombed the city, of which it currently controls a small part, since September. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, an activist group that tracks the conflict in Syria, said a Monday night airstrike killed 22 people, but stressed that it was not clear whose warplanes were involved. Last year, the US-led coalition bombed Syrian army positions near the city of Deir el-Zawar, killing at least 62 Syrian soldiers and leaving more than 100 wounded. Associated Press writer Natalia Vasilyeva in Moscow contributed to this report.